Today, I'd like to explore more of the world to try to finally find mesa and ice spikes, as well as just talk to you guys about some stuff going on in my life, including where you can download this crazy thing if you want to play your own quest for everything. Welcome back to Exploration and Tactics with Brian. And last time we discovered some crazy stuff that I accidentally did to this world when I created this world. But we have found how to get around it. In particular, the bits of the world that I have messed up, we can simply bypass that bit of the overworld by going through the Nether. And last time we just proved that that would work, and so this time I want to take that a bit farther and go back to exploring in order to try to find a couple of the biomes that we need in order to collect a couple of the blocks that we couldn't otherwise get. Things like packed ice, as well as red sand, are things we can only find at certain biomes. And I'm just kind of ignoring the ghast who's out here. Actually, why should I ignore him? I've got this awesome bow. Let's try to take advantage of it, shall we? Haha! How did that not kill you on the first hit? I guess I didn't get a fully charged... Ouch. A fully charged shot on that ghast the first time around. Because this bow has got like power 4 and all kinds of crazy stuff on it. I should also not... I should be careful to not die. Let's eat some cooked mutton. In any case, before I was so rudely distracted, I made this little path through the Nether, and I put down some cobblestone just to make it kind of easier to run, rather than having to walk through the soul sand. And it will just lead us out to another nether portal that's a ways out over here that will take us past the boundary of where the world is slightly corrupted, I suppose you could say. And we will be able to keep exploring for some new biomes. And while I'm doing that, I had a number of, I don't know, miscellaneous topics of things going on in life that I thought I could ramble somewhat coherently about while we're exploring in the world. And so that's my major plan for today. But let's take a step back out. This was heading to the west, and so let's make sure we start heading to the west as we come back out as well. And do I have a boat on me? I do not. I'm going to want one, but I think I left a crafting table out at like the top of the ocean where this comes out. Because you recall that we made this nether portal and it came out underneath the ocean. Right over here. And I basically made a pillar of stone, mostly so that I could find my way back down to where the portal is under the ocean, but also so I could place a torch like that in order to grab a breath of fresh air as we're traveling upwards. Here we are, and there's already a boat here for me. Great. And west is this way. So let's turn around and start sailing to the west. Yeah, things going on in life. I was recently on the Mindcrack podcast. I had asked Good and OMG Chad if I could be a guest on the podcast when Minecraft 1.9 came out, because I knew that I would be releasing Bingo. I'd planned, even like back in October, to try to release Minecraft Bingo the same day. Minecraft Bingo 3.0 the same day that Minecraft 1.9 was coming out, because I'd finished most of it back in like October and November, and I knew I was going to have to fix some things as Mojang was still making changes in the later stages. But I knew it was pretty much going to be ready to go, and sure enough, I did manage to get Minecraft Bingo out on the same day that the new Minecraft update came out. But in any case, I managed to be a guest on the podcast to talk about that, and since I'd originally asked them about that, I had also made 2 other maps, or, well, almost made. There's this map. There's the Quest for Everything, where I have command blocks which check for all the different items in the game. And I'm playing basically like an alpha version of it, and I've gone through a few other testing iterations with some other folks. Obesity84 is playing this game. He's got a series called Thrival Island, where I started him on an island with the same contraption, and he's trying to gather all the items. And then the folks from the Strangeland server got together this past weekend to try to I think there were 6 of us who were able to show up. Basically try to kind of speed challenge it to see with a whole bunch of people on the server how fast we could get items. And that will start airing, I think, on this channel, like in another week or 2. We recorded like 5 20-minute episodes while all of us had some free time for a couple of hours on the weekend where we could all record together. And yeah, basically the process of doing that, giving the map to some other folks and playing it in some other situations has given me an opportunity to debug the command blocks and debug the list of items that I had to make sure that I'm not missing any items that you can obtain in survival, and make sure I didn't have any items that you can't obtain in survival, like up on the wall. I'm trying to decide if there's any direction I want to go. I think I'll just kind of continue heading directly to the west, and we'll see how that goes for us. And yeah, as a result, now the map is ready to go. And so this was another of the maps that I talked about on the Minecraft podcast last week. And as a result, there is a map download. One of the things, even after I had kind of the map kind of all working and ready to go, that I was struggling to decide what to do with is kind of like how to distribute it. Because, you know, it's a command block contraption that you could just like paste into any world and run in any world. In order to make it easy to do that, it's much easier to do if it's not already like running and set up, because once this thing is running, Spider, go get that skeleton for me. You can do it. I have faith in you. Yay, you did it. Good job, Spider. Here's your reward. A sword to the face. Did I take the boat with me? I did. Great, I'm a genius. And so what I've done is basically set it up so that the command blocks aren't running yet, and the item frames haven't been put up yet. But there's basically one command block that you can activate that will then turn on the machine and get everything going. And as a result, if it's currently embedded in a world that I made that I thought might be fun for people to play, but if you want to play it in your own seed, if you want to, you know, use your own custom terrain, if you want to do it in amplified terrain or something like that, you could always create your own world and then use some other tools like MC Edit to kind of like, or, you know, whatever, to cut and paste the command block contraption and put it in some other world in order to go and run it. There's an Enderman up there. I could really probably use some more Ender Pearls, but currently the looting sword is away inside my Ender chest. Since we're traveling at night, I'm going to see if I can sail around. Ooh, a witch hut. I don't make many automated farms in Minecraft. Back on the Strangeland server previously, I made a witch farm because I found a witch hut right at the beginning of that server's lifetime back in 1.8. And witches drop so many awesome things that it's pretty useful type of farm to have. But I don't think we'll worry about that right now. That is not our primary mission. But it's nice to know that the witch hut is out here, because I think that might be the first one that I've seen in this world. And, I thought I was going to successfully dodge all of that skeleton's arrows, and then just as I was getting out of range, he hit me with the last one. So yeah, rather than describe the world download, I think it might be better for me to just go and demonstrate it. And I've actually got a copy set up that I could use right now. So let's do that right now. I don't even have to cut the camera. Save and quit. Single player. Lorgon's Quest for Everything copy. I made a copy of it. And if you started out in single player, it should start you right here inside the box. And right now there's no barrier box. There's no item frames. There's you know, just all the stuff, and there's all these extra command blocks over here that are actually some of the things that initialize the item frames and whatever. But there are just some signs that say, with an empty inventory, and the empty inventory is important because if you have anything in your inventory, once you turn this thing on, it's going to start scoring you. In creative mode, you could right-click the orange command block here and change from needs redstone to always active, and then click done. Then break these signs in creative, switch to survival, and have fun. And so if I right-click on this command block, I change it down here from needs redstone to always active, say done, kablam! Here's all the item frames. There's now barrier blocks between me and them, and we can break these signs. And it should be just about time set 0, but if you want to say time set 0 start yourself off with all the time of the day, you could do that. And then game mode 0 to put yourself in survival. And you're ready to start playing a quest for everything on this map that I chose because it's got a seed number that I kind of enjoy. Seed 111. And near the normal world spawn, I think I moved the world spawn a little bit. But there's a few different biomes. There's deserts, and there's plains, and there's swamps, and some kind of forest. And so a variety of things, and there's a number of animals for getting some food to get started. And so this looked like a pretty plausible seed. So if you want to play this, I will have a link to download this map in the description. And you can just drop it in your Minecraft world folders and go ahead and play this for yourself. Or you could download the map, and if you want to play it in a different world, in a different setting, you should be able to just kind of use some third-party tools like MCEdit to kind of cut and paste this structure into some other world. You know, grab this whole box and grab all the other command blocks and paste them somewhere else and run it. And actually, will that work? I might be using absolute coordinates rather than relative coordinates, so I'm not actually sure if that's going to work. See, one of the problems is everyone in the world uses MCEdit. I don't use MCEdit, and so yeah, I'm not sure about that. If someone has some kind of magical filters that turn absolute coordinates into relative coordinates or something, and wants to turn this into an MCEdit schematic, that might make it easier for people to put into other worlds. In any case, there's a world download. You can play this world. I think it'd be fun. A number of people expressed interest. If you have questions, you can ask me in the comments, but there isn't a whole lot of support that I'll probably do for this map. I've done enough, and others can probably help you out at this point. Okay, in any case, we're distracted. Let's go back to the world that we are supposed to be playing today, the Exploration and Tactics world, the quest for everything, which is called Everything in my worlds list, and I back it up after every episode. I had a backup after episode 12, so I guess we're in episode 13. Am I still headed west? Yes. All right, picking up where we left off. So one thing that I've been up to is basically just making revisions to this map and fixing a few bugs. There's a jungle temple. Wow! We gotta go check that out. I'm actually playing today in 1.9.1-pre-3, and I believe they have made it so that there's even loot tables for things like dispensers. So the dispensers that are inside the jungle temple... Oh, hello. You guys, like, came almost out of nowhere to try and surprise me. Alright, I still hear the creeper burning out here. Hey, buddy. Alright, you were dead, sir. I was just watching Kurt J. Mac, can you tell? Yeah, they changed the loot tables in 1.9.1-pre-3 so that dispensers can now have loot tables as well, which means the dispensers that are part of the trap that's going to try to shoot me with an arrow over here, and I believe I can just break the tripwire. Hey, free arrow. Yeah, actually have loot tables, but I think they just... Oops. Is there another trap here? Yeah, there we go. There's the other tripwire. So the arrows that are in here, I guess, come from loot tables, and so in theory you could change the loot tables and have, like, splash potions of poison that end up being in these traps or whatever. And... Ooh, emeralds. Neat. Rotten flesh, not so interested in. And then I believe, is it back here? Is that where the other, like, secret chests are? Or, nope, here they are. Hello, secret chest. More emeralds. And bones and gold. The gold I could probably use, so I'll go ahead and grab that. The bones, yeah, for now I'll go ahead and take them. I do have an ender chest on me now, and so I'm going to have more inventory space than I've been accustomed to having in the past. Alright, well that was kind of a fun find and unexpected. I don't believe... I think I've already made cobblestone stairs. Yes, that's an object that's already been in my inventory. And I don't think there's any other blocks or structures from here that I need. The dispenser, I think I already crafted a dispenser. So, mostly just a fun distraction. I see melons over there, but we're already growing melons back at home. Cocoa beans, I've also already got back at home. Alright, so that was a fun little distraction. Let's move on to the next of Brian's rambling topics. Okay, that's the east, so this is the west. let's continue to the west so that we're exploring new territory. Looks like it's going to be a big jungle over here. Jungles, in my experience, tend to often generate next to ice spikes, at least in Minecraft Bingo, where the biome size is turned down. And so I can imagine that there could be ice spikes somewhere nearby. I might kind of follow the whole path from the ocean around the outside of this particular jungle, just in the hope of finding one of those. Because I do have my Silk Touch pick on me, both for gathering the packed ice and to be able to use my ender chest. In any case, so this is another map that I got a chance to kind of advertise on the podcast, just kind of talk about, because it wasn't quite ready for download, but now it is. Or it wasn't ready for the download, last week when I was on the podcast. And finally, there is Vanilla Swirl CTM. I'm going to take a peek over this hill, but then I'm going to head back to the west since this ocean didn't go as far. Ooh. Did you see the boat? Oh, okay. Boats, yeah, they sometimes teleport from their origin to where you get out of them, and you can actually, like, see it visually in the client, and it's kind of weird. Oh, maybe I can sail around the jungle of the ocean over here. Let's try that. The boats are way better now than they used to be, but they still have a few kind of awkward glitches. Anyway, Vanilla Swirl CTM is the other maps that I've really been working hard on. I mean, this map, the Quest for Everything, where I've got the command blocks that count all the items that you have, that was mostly like the work of an afternoon. Like, I spent probably another day kind of polishing it up to get it ready for download, but it is a small project. The Vanilla Swirl CTM, which is the mini CTM maps that I'm working on and hope to release by the end of this month. Although Mojang, we're in 1.9.1, keeps changing combat, and in 1.9.1, they've changed how diamond armor works. They've changed how the attack cooldown works in terms of being able to swing your weapons. And so I may need to do some rebalancing and kind of rework on Vanilla CTM and do some more testing. So I'm not sure exactly when that's going to be ready, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But that was another thing that I got to advertise, and so if you're interested in CTM maps and want to play a CTM map for 1.9, you can always either keep staying tuned to me, because I'm sure I'll announce it, or you can subscribe to the Vanilla Swirl CTM subreddit, which I'll try to also link in this description, where I will post any updates as that map is coming along. But it's an algorithmically generated CTM map, where I don't place any of the blocks, I just write code that places all the blocks for me. And it's worked out reasonably well. I've had a few beta testers, and they've all had fun. And I think it's an interesting project that it could evolve into something really interesting in the long term, but in the short term, I'm at least making something that's kind of fun. And it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of interesting work that I enjoyed doing. And so I hope that some people will play those maps and enjoy them. So that is something else that I have been working on, trying to get the release out the door, but I haven't been able to work on it really much in the last couple of weeks because of all the other things that have been going on, such as the release of Minecraft 1.9 and me getting Minecraft Bingo out the door and me getting this map out the door and me being a guest on the Minecraft podcast. And of course, the other thing that was related to Minecraft is Minecraft Survival Island, which is going on now. And if you don't know about that somehow, then where have you been? I've had a few episodes of that airing on my channel related to the official produced episode 1 episode. But basically, it's a contest that's kind of like the Survivor television show, where the Minecrackers invited 12 other YouTubers who they were fans of, and I was one of them, to come be a contestant, be someone who was invited to Survival Island, and participate in various challenges, and get divided up into teams, and at the end of each episode, somebody gets voted off the island. And that will be happening weekly on the Minecraft Network channel, and so I'll be sure to have a link to that in the description as well. So many links. But I wasn't sure how well the first episode and like all the production that they had to do was going to turn out, and I think it actually turned out pretty well. I think it's going to be an entertaining series. A number of people have been critical of the audio because we were using this Mumble plugin that gave us directional audio so that you could only hear people that were like near you and that we were kind of like facing, and if they're off to your right, you'd hear them out of your right earphone and stuff like that, which I think was pretty essential to the series and being able to have conversations and go off into the woods and talk to people alone and different kinds of things. But made it so that some of the audio quality is not as high quality as you expect from your typical YouTube Minecraft upload kind of stuff. But apart from that, I think it's going to be... The first episode is pretty entertaining. I think as things go on, it will get more dramatic, and people will... Anyone who's invested in any of the people who wants them to win or whatever, I think it will get exciting and interesting. So I would encourage you to check that out. And yeah, a link to episode 1, the produced Minecraft Survival Island episode, will be in the description of this video. Let's see. Apart from all of those things kind of happening in YouTube life, I had a fun day in just real life the other day. It's kind of silly. This is something else I mentioned on the podcast, because one of the Ask Crack questions was about, are you a dog person or a cat person? I'm a cat person. I like kitty cats. You might be able to tell based on my channel icon, avatar, whatever, which is a kitty cat that says want, because the kitty cat wants. I hear wolves. Sorry, wolves, didn't you hear? I'm a cat person, not a dog person. That said, I did just pick up 19 bones. Hey, buddy. How about you? It could be fun to have these guys along. I'm not sure if it will actually be fun or it will quickly turn out to be annoying or something, because I'm not sure how good they are at not killing themselves these days, but skeletons are an annoyance, and I wouldn't mind having some friends to help me fend them off. They can stay alive, so we'll see how that works out. But yes, I like cats. And in terms of exercise out in the world these days, I like just going for walks kind of like around the neighborhood or, you know, farther out. But in any case, near where I live, there are a number of folks who have outdoor cats. I do not have a cat. I had some cats growing up. I had a couple of cats during various years when I was growing up as a kid. But I don't have a cat today. But a number of the neighbors... So yeah, the boat... Yeah. Alright, you definitely saw it that time. The boats are a little wonky sometimes. Did I already lose the wolves? Just traveling across that short body of water, did they, like, lose the ability to teleport to me? Those were, like, the shortest-lived wolves ever. Okay, I'm still heading west. And so when I go out for, you know, just my daily walks for exercise, I enjoy seeing the various kitty cats that are usually, you know, just like sitting on people's lawns or driveways or walking around the neighborhood or whatever. And so I always have my daily kitty count of how many kitties I saw on my walk that day. And my previous record for a single walk was 9 kitty cats, even though I know of more than 9 distinct kitties in the neighborhood. I've at most seen 9 on any one day. And yesterday, I went for a walk and I saw 12 kitty cats in the same day during the same long walk. And that just tickled me. That just tickled me pink. I like the kitties, and so that was exciting for me. And it was also, it was a crazy day. There's a number of like where I live. It's, you know, it's in like a neighborhood with other houses, but it's kind of like on the edge of town. And so, oh, hey, look, that's the first village that I've seen in this world. And here is another desert temple, which could have some good things to raid. Let's see, the sun is about to go down. That's going to be bad news for the villagers. Actually, is it the first village that I found? Yeah, because I got the beetroot seeds out of like an abandoned mine shaft or something, if I recall correctly. So it's like, I know I have beetroots growing at home. Do I have carrots and potatoes? I don't know that I have potatoes yet. No, I do have potatoes. I haven't been playing enough of this world recently, apparently, since I can't remember many of the fine details. All right, and TNT. I know I've got TNT at home, but I wouldn't mind having some more, because that could be eventually fun for various projects. So we'll pick it up. And what do we have here? Ooh, golden apple. Neat. Thorns too. Okay. Since I'm collecting it, I might as well grab that. I don't need these blocks. What else do we have? Fortune 3. That would have been nice a while back when I was trying to get Fortune 3. Now I don't really need it anymore. Silk Touch. That would have been nice when I was trying to get the Silk Touch pick. I guess it's still useful to have these in backup in case I end up losing these picks somewhere along the way. And a couple more emeralds is great. Golden apples. I could go and try to... I've got enough emeralds just on me that I could go try to, like, trade with some villagers, potentially. I don't think I am likely to do that, though. Villagers in this game have never really interested me. Villagers and villager trading. It's just, in my opinion, like, the most boring mechanics in the game. People sit around and, you know, like, put together a giant sugarcane farm and then get a whole bunch of emeralds and then trade with the villagers in order to get a bunch of wacky stuff, enchanted tools and whatnot. And I just think it's like the most boring possible way to progress in the game. So, sorry villagers, I'm not really interested in talking to you. So we're just going to move on. We'll continue heading to the west, which is still this direction. So I'm managing to keep a sense of direction. We are nowhere near a packed ice biome, I would guess. But given that we are in the desert, we could find a mesa, since that's a hot, dry biome somewhere around here. So we'll continue looking, because I need to get the red sand and red sandstone. In any case, I got totally distracted. Along my walk, in addition to seeing all the kitty cats, we're in kind of like on the outskirts of town where it gets into undeveloped lots of land, or undeveloped. It's kind of a weird word from the point of view of it makes it seem like developed is like the natural state of things, but like nature is the natural state of things and developed is like the unnatural state of things or whatever. So there's some natural land, you know, that just has trees and everything growing on it or whatever. And there's some wild turkeys that live not too far from where I live, and occasionally I see them. And on this day, the wild turkeys that just like come up the road right in front of the house. And yeah, I just had one of the wild turkeys, like a number of them kind of like scattered off and flew away. But one of them was just kind of walking down the road, and I'm walking up the road, and I just like walked right past the wild turkey. And fortunately, this was after dinner, and so I wasn't hungry, and so I didn't want to strangle him and bring him home to cook, because he probably would have been tasty. Oh, look at all the Endermen out here. Should I bother trying to get my... Yeah, I'm not going to bother trying to get my looting sword. We had an easy time getting ender pearls. Oh, hello, witches. I think I will at least kill one of you so that I can run by a little bit more easily. Killing bad guys is not our primary mission right now. We're trying to explore. In fact, it'll be easier to do this way. But yes, wild turkeys was something else I saw during the same walk that I saw the 12 kitties. And I was, like, close enough to probably, like, try to jump at one and tackle it and strangle it and bring it home and cook it up. I don't know, like, you probably aren't allowed to do it. I don't know if there's, like, what regulations there are in terms of, like, hunting. But it's, yeah, just weird when you see, like, a tasty bird who's just, like, standing on your property out of nowhere. All right, I'm definitely rambling now. We still have not found any of the biomes that I was hoping to find. Are there other things that I wanted to talk about? Actually, I do, yeah, I've got a couple other random anecdotes that I was hoping might come up during the Minecraft podcast, and there was never a good segue to. One of them is, I was going to say, I know that I've finally made it on YouTube. I've heard a lot of other people like have similar type of experiences that I'm about to relate. But one thing I'm very happy about is that all of, I don't know, the community that follows me and my commenters and things, like, are always nice and friendly and helpful in the comments. People always talk about YouTube comment sections, like, being awful. And in general, like, I always feel like the comment sections in my videos have always been really good. And some of that's just as a result of kind of like having a smaller community, but some of it's just as a result of the folks that have gathered and congregated here. But nevertheless, and probably as a result, I think of Minecraft Bingo coming out and directing more attention to the channel from... Ooh! Guardians! There's a Guardian Temple down there. They are very difficult, and I am not prepared to handle them yet. But I am going to take a screenshot with F2. We're really far out, 7,400 blocks. Just so that I know that is the first Guardian Temple I believe I've seen in this world. And at this point, I've also traveled really far, and so I want to try to cycle back around to where I started. And so my plan now is I'm going to divert to the north. We're going to travel north a little ways, and then we'll start circling back around to the east. And hopefully we'll get to see a bunch more biomes and maybe find some of the biomes that we're looking for. But Guardians, I'd forgotten about Guardians. I've been thinking about the Ender Dragon and the Wither, both of whom still scare me, and I'm basically kind of putting off fighting them because I'm scared of them. Honestly, the dragon more than the Wither. The Wither, I don't have the correct armor and weaponry to take on the Wither just yet, but I feel like with the correct armor and weaponry, I can handle the Wither. The Ender Dragon, not so sure about. But Guardians, I have only encountered in a survival world once before in my previous exploration and tactics series, and I remember them being reasonably difficult. I don't have a ton of experience with them. And so they'll be a challenge. But I wonder if we can find some that are closer to home if I do more exploring. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I made it on YouTube. So my YouTube comments are good. But for the first time ever, that's some cool looking terrain up there. For the first time ever, last week, I got a comment on one of my videos that was someone who just said, kill yourself, 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 just like repeated 100 times. And I'd never seen a comment like that before. But I've heard, many stories of people who get such comments or whatever, and I guess it's just the nature of, eventually over time when millions of different people come across different channels and view things, there's always one. And I have no problem, I talk about, the commenters being good. Occasionally there's bad comments or rude comments or inappropriate comments or whatever. And I have no problem at all just, deleting any comments on my channel that I don't think belong there. And blocking people who deserve to be blocked. And so, yeah, the comment immediately got deleted and that person got blocked. And it doesn't bother me at all, just, water off a duck's back or whatever. But I'd heard a bunch of other YouTubers talk about that phenomenon, and it had never happened to me before. But now it has. So I've decided that means I've made it on YouTube. I've made it to the big time. And similarly, in terms of making it the same week as that, I decided that I've also made it as a Minecraft map maker. Because I found a channel that basically, I'm going to use the word borrows to be kind of kind, but basically borrows ideas and implementations from various Minecraft maps that have been made by various famous map makers and ports them to Minecraft for Xbox One. And Minecraft for Xbox One, doesn't have all the features that you have in Minecraft on the PC. There aren't command blocks, for example, in the console edition or portable edition. But nevertheless, someone ported Minecraft Bingo with just a single fixed map that included the artwork that I spent a lot of hours making for Minecraft Bingo items. Yeah, and stuck their name on the bottom of it rather than, Lorgon 111 or whatever, and posted it as a map for Xbox One. And they have a playlist that has just a whole bunch of other maps that are basically, just stolen copies of other maps that they've tried to port to the console. And yeah, without command blocks, like, Minecraft Bingo isn't all that fun. Like, you have a single map, and there's nothing keeping track of the items, and so basically it's a picture of a bingo card, is basically what this person made. But some other maps, like, Cluster Chunk was a PvP map by 3-2 that I remember after he made that map. It was basically just kind of like a set of blocks in the world and a setup for an interesting PvP game. I remember that, like, yeah, like, someone ported that to Xbox, and then not only like stole everything about the map that he had made, but they even made a video on YouTube about it or whatever with the download, and stole, like, the footage that he had and the same music that he had used in his video. I seem to recall. And yeah, I don't know, the intellectual property of Minecraft maps is interesting and nebulous. But in any case, the point being, someone borrowed my Minecraft map content and repurposed it as their own, and so I figure that means I've made it as a map maker now at this point as well. Yeah, and when stuff like that happens, yeah, I try not to talk about too many negative things or whatever, because I figure people are watching YouTube videos to enjoy and relax and that kind of stuff, and so I try to stick on positive things. Those, you know, are kind of like negative things or whatever, but I'm treating it as a positive from the point of view of, if you've made something, you know, like, good enough to steal, then you've made something that's pretty good. And if you finally got so popular that you're getting, you know, random hate YouTube comments, then it just means you're popular. So those are good things that have happened to me over the past week. So at this point, I am headed back to the east. We headed a fair bit to the north. Looks like by maybe 1,500 blocks or so. I didn't keep track of... I don't remember if I kept track of the exact coordinates of the portal. I think it's pretty close to 0 on the other axis. But I hope that doesn't make it too difficult to find on the way back. But I've been disappointed that we've done a lot of traveling today. I managed to talk through a bunch of topics. I have a little note scratch pad on the desk in front of me that I was using, because I figured with all the exploring it was going to take a while, and so I'd want to have different things to talk about, but I think maybe I have gotten through all the topics that I wanted to talk about today. I have no idea how long I've been rambling at you all, and so why don't I go check on the video time and see where we're at. Yep, this is an awful long video, and so I think I'll probably go ahead and call it here. And next time, I guess we will continue exploring. I'll probably do some exploring off camera, and yeah, just bring you guys back in if I finally find some of the biomes that I'm looking for. And I don't know, give me some encouragement to go fight the Ender Dragon, because I know that I am going to be prone to trying to put it off, and I just need to go do it. It's going to be scary. I'm probably going to die. I'm probably going to lose some of my stuff in the void. And I just need to get over it because I need to progress through the game. And that will help me progress. So give me some words of encouragement. And in the meantime, I will give you minor words of encouragement, saying that I hope, as always, that you guys are having a great day. And I look forward to seeing all of you again in the near future with more Minecraft Exploration and Tactics with Brian. Check out the links in the description for all the other interesting stuff that I've been working on or been a part of lately, and I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye!